Excellent connection. Oh, I can't see nothing. There we go. Alright, man. We just gonna be chilling in this thing till some people get in. I plan on only being on here for about 45 minutes. Unless we get some people in here. I ain't about to be on this thing all day just waiting. But ask me anything, man. Ask me anything from dreams to whatever. Spirituality, different tools, different forms of meditation, man. Ask me anything at this point. But till then, man, we just gonna listen to some music, and if anybody pull up, we're gonna see what's good. I guess we should call it Vibes with B Neil, cause I have no idea who gonna pull up. Just gonna be chilling for a little minute. Why you gotta bite me? Why you gotta stretch me, man? I don't know what concurrent viewers mean.
I'm in the zone of forever. I'm in the zone of forever. Yeah. I run the hood forever. I run the city.
Let me see.
I run my city forever.
Shit, I ain't watched the Joe Rogan podcast with Alex Jones. I missed it.
Yeah, that's my bitch forever. The love that we got it forever. I got your back forever. I hit the lap of the
But I will say, man, everybody always trying to fact check the conspiracy theories. But that's about all I can say to that. You gotta have a bunch of facts to prove people right when it comes to conspiracy, because people already don't want to believe it. And then looking at somebody's credibility like Alex Jones, people are already trying to down him, no matter what he's saying. So yeah, I know it. Yeah. And then Joe Rogan's trying to be at least as safe as possible. He ain't trying to get canceled either, so he's trying to make sure everything is separate from him and him and Alex Jones. He like everything that Alex Jones is saying is from him only. But I'm gonna have to go check that out for sure. When he wrong is big. I mean, from what I watch with Alex Jones, it's conspiracy based, so it's hard to say he's just straight up wrong or straight up right. I think he be closer than a lot of people care to admit, but I don't know too many times I've seen him been wrong, but I really don't watch him that much either, so that's a whole nother conversation. Like, I know when he talk about the school shootings and stuff, like, yeah, they was trying to cancel him heavy for that, but there was some questionable activities around them things. So I mean, he not the only one that brought questions to those things. And I used to go hard behind that with them. What's them agents called? Them crisis actors, man. There was one dude. He was literally at the Boston explosion during the track thing or marathon. He was he was also in like London when something happened at the airport, and then he was also at one other thing in America. So I'm like, yeah, it's many things to question when it comes to that. But I try to leave stuff like that alone, because honestly, people, it's damn if you do, damn if you don't with those type of topics, because people already believe so heavily on one type of way. Yeah. Let me roll up. I don't know if this Anthony, my boy D friend, or it's another Anthony. I don't know this logo, but whoever it is, appreciate your question so far, man. Well, yeah, anything. I don't mind any type of questions. Honestly, I watch everything for the most part, or got some type of intellect on it. But spiritual, anything. Honestly, if I got some information on this shit, I don't even mind looking it up. That's why I'm on OBS, so we can even we can do some research. If I really don't know, but most likely I'm gonna have something on it. All I do is study. Well, just some plugs, man. Y'all pull up the Absolutely Unsure podcast. We've been doing that for a few years now, man. Me and my boy, like I said, I don't know if that's D-Friend, but me and my boy D-Friend, and a few of our other friends usually pull up, and we talk about everything on there too, but mostly just dealing with societal things. And really, what I realized, we really talk about politics, whether it's real politics, well, like, you know, actual politics, or is it street politics, Hollywood politics, but that's something I kind of realized. We really just be breaking down politics, even if it's like school or like college systems and shit. And that's what we kind of break down. But I also got I got 2 more podcasts coming out. One with the Don Tarot, that's gonna be straightly spiritual, relationship based, and then another one with my boy Johnny, that's gonna be relationship based, storytelling based. So y'all get ready for them things. They gonna be coming. Well, one already getting posted. I'm waiting for the one with Don Tarot for that to post now, and that's gonna be on his own page. The Forbidden Fruit is the name of that podcast. Y'all check that out. We're gonna be consistent, at least weekly or bi-weekly. I'm not really too concerned about getting them out fast. I really want content more than anything, because it's spiritual, and that's sometimes stuff just gotta flow to you before, or instead of just searching stuff, because it gotta resonate for you to even get passionate behind it sometimes, for at least for me. We got some slow shit playing. I just wanted to listen to the future. But yeah, I'm gonna do this probably I probably do this 2 days out the week, maybe 3 during the weekend if I really feel it. But besides that, I'm gonna do it too. For sure. Just build up this Q&A things, and then we're gonna, once we get some people in this thing, questions really gonna be popping off, and I don't mind. Yeah, I ain't gonna be one of them dudes that just, oh, ain't nobody else right. Oh, what's up? I see your comments now. I don't know what you asked though. Let me see. I don't think I got like no settings on or nothing that make it like crazy, but nobody respond. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I don't know. YouTube just be slow on some shit. Who do you think gonna win the election? Okay, alright, I actually like this question. So, I said from the jump that I thought Trump was gonna win, but then as I just started watching the trend, Biden started picking up a lot of momentum towards the end of the towards November 3rd. But what I really think it is, I think they setting up America to just be more divisive, and just like with Hillary when she had more votes, I think Trump's still gonna win, and it's just gonna set the American people into more of a frenzy even more. Cause they like, man, nah, it's gonna be so much more stuff that go out, and ultimately that just make Trump more polarizing. And then how I really feel about Biden, he only exists for Trump. Like, Biden only good quality is he's not Trump. So it's like I kind of feel like they just setting him up just for him to make, you know, Trump more polarizing. But that's just my little view on it. But I still think Trump gonna win. Do I think it's gonna be fair, or do I think that's what the people decided? No, but that's not how politics work, and we've seen that for a long time. But I'm just going off of just the game that I think they would play. But we got how many days? We got 6 more days, 7 more days till we see. And then I definitely Biden definitely got a lot closer than I thought. I didn't even think it was close, but for some reason he just kept pushing forward, and Trump started fumbling the bag too with that stimulus talk. But like I said, I don't know if that was on purpose or not, because a lot of this stuff is all WWE acting and stuff. So I really try not to buy too much into it. And I'm personally not voting, and I probably never ever vote in my life. So this is just me looking from the outside in. But yeah, I still got Trump winning. Cause I even told my homeboy, like, with the election, it's a popularity contest. It's not really about politics. Like, this is who's the most popular person. And Trump is clearly more popular than Biden. Like, literally, the media outlets can make more money if Trump is around for another 4 years, even if they talking about how much they love him, how much they hate him, or whatever new tweet that he make up. And you gotta think of America like that. Like, he a money maker for American media, so it's kind of hard for them not to run with him versus Biden. That motherfucker, he really boring and damn near senile. So I don't look at it like how we supposed to look at a regular election. I kind of look at how the money would be affected and things like that. And even some of the spiritual aspects to it. But who y'all think gonna win? I'm trying to think of some other points that I thought about the election. I've been so focused on myself, really, it's just been hard to really just keep in mind too much of it. But all of it is doing is just making America more divisive, and that's how American, well, at least the American corporation like to function. Trump 2020. That's how I feel. I don't see Biden winning, dog. It just don't make sense to me. It makes no sense to me. What's crazy to me though, I think that how Biden a harasser and pedophile. Well, I can't say pedophile for sure, but he definitely a sexual harasser. Like, how that haven't came out yet, that's kind of crazy to me still. Like, that's how powerful the media is, cause like that shit's on YouTube. You can look up not Trump. You can look up Joe Biden touching on kids, Joe Biden touching on elderly women, and even other men, and none of that has came up. It's just weird to me. Like, I was so surprised that he even got this far, if you ask me. But that's just how powerful the media is. If they don't want to talk about it, they're not gonna talk about it. But watch 10 years from now, 5 years from now, that shit come out and everybody gonna be like, oh, he's this person. Like, nigga, y'all been knew that shit. There's no way in here y'all didn't know that shit. But like I said, they don't even got nothing to do with the election, because nobody even talking about that shit. But even then, it kind of canceled out because Trump deal with that nigga, what's that nigga name? This shit crazy how I said pedophilia and sexual harassment cancel out, because this nigga deal with Epstein and his gal. So it's like, nigga, that shit, yeah, they both cancel out. They all nasty. So it's like, bro, this a wild ass fucking world, bro. That's fucking crazy, bro. When you really just break that down. So that's why people don't talk about it, because they're like, well, they both do it. So what's next? Oh man, this lesser evil. Yeah, I don't. How y'all feel about picking the lesser evils? I feel like that's just a dry game that we was sold, bro. Like, we gotta get over that shit. We do not have to vote to gain power or even be successful. Like, I ain't gonna lie, not one president thing really affected my life, as far as, since I've been able to build on my own. Like, it just, like, we already, bro, they policies, they don't give a fuck about us. So we gotta do us regardless. So I don't get caught up in that shit. The other podcast with me and the Don Taro, that's called The Forbidden Fruit. It's gonna be out. It's uploading now, the first episode. We getting that out now. And then the other podcast, we ain't got a name for it, but that's gonna be storytelling a relationship with my other homeboy. Yeah, they're gonna be some pretty funny stories, man. We got some pretty interesting things to talk about on there. Well, yeah. Besides that, then oh, and absolutely unsure. If you don't know about that one already, of course, that's the one we've been doing for a few years, and we're getting some pretty good, what do you call numbers on there, man? Over the time. Let me see if I even pull it up on here. Ooh. Oh, slaughtered that. Yeah, if y'all don't know, I can't spell. But this is the one we've been doing. Y'all check that out. We talk about a little bit of everything. But like I said, really politics on life in general. For the streets, if y'all want to get into that Meg Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez, got into a little heated convo there. It was a pretty good convo. Epstein, yeah, we got a few of them. Few hitters. Where was I at? Oh, here we go. You cheating on me? I was gonna talk to you about it, bro. We just ain't met yet. That's hilarious. The other podcast. You gonna use my webcam too? We ain't use your webcam, bro. Nah, yeah, bro. I had came up with them ideas, bro. I just had to push with it, see what it was. We ran a pilot episode just to see how it go. It came out pretty decent. But yeah, we're gonna try to keep that going. That's some funny ass shit. Cause I was like, I already said I'm gonna talk to you about it, but I thought we were gonna been linked by now. Hilarious. We're gonna have a whole podcast. What you call it? I don't even know what you call them things. How Joe Budden trying to do his shit. He just got a motherfucking catalog of them hoes. I see you tomorrow. That's hilarious. That boy hit me with the mister like I'm in trouble, boy. That shit funny. What's up with some more questions, man? What y'all got? Know y'all want to ask some conspiracy questions or something. I guess I should probably share it one more time, but I really don't. People on Twitter don't be fucking with me like that. Niggas be scared to ask questions. DMs be full though. Niggas stay asking questions in the DM. Bro, put that shit on the motherfucking TL so niggas will see that I got some some niggas that's interested in questions. Head ass. But nah, people fuck with me. It's just not at the rate that I want. But this ain't for everybody. So it is what it is. Oh, that go deep. I love fucking with the Kanye West combo. I think it's a mix of being crazy and a genius, because that's just kind of, I think those things kind of go hand in hand, low key. And even if he's not crazy, he'll come off crazy to people that's, you know, that just don't have that same type of understanding. But for me, when he talk about being bipolar and stuff like that, I think that if you have control over that and really understand how we all have masculine and feminine side, and if we both develop both of those poles, you can become spiritually, you can become really just very creative and very just driven, and really can push things forward. And I think that's kind of what Kanye is, because if you think about him growing up and his mom being one of his biggest influence, he got that feminine energy strong. That's why he get emotional and have that much passion. And I relate to that a lot, because when I get emotional, I tend to break down. So not really break down, but hard to understand. So along with his already being creative and already being the top of his game, when you add those two complexes together, you get that that genius slash something that you really don't understand, because he's not the typical template that you will want or expect from certain people, in a sense. Because even we talked about on Forbidden Fruit, like with our celebrities, we want them to have this perfect image or even some type of godly image. But even with God, they say you don't understand them. You can never understand them fully. But yeah, I think he's a genius. I really do. Now, there, like when we think about geniuses, there's Einstein, of course, where he's a genius in his field. You got Tesla with the dude Tesla, where he talk about everything's frequency, energy, and vibrations. And then you got creative geniuses that's in, well, obviously they was creative too, but you got another genius in the sense of art. And yeah, he's shown it. He's shown it in my eyes. I mean, I think athletes are geniuses. I think honestly, I may be devaluing the word geniuses, but everybody has potential genius in them. I know that for a fact. And I see people tapping into it all the time. But of course, a lot of these celebrities or people that got this power and energy have been tapping into that genius. That's just how it is for me. I give a lot of people the credit of being a genius. But of course, there's levels to it. There's people that's tapped in a lot more. But yeah, I think I'm a genius. So yeah, it's not nothing crazy for me to say that to somebody or about somebody in my eyes. But a lot of people don't like to call people geniuses. But I mean, I guess what is a genius? Let me look it up so I cannot be as vague. I guess. Or did this link even send? I seen the question. I forgot to send the link. Oh yeah, it's sent. Exceptional intellect, creative power, or other natural abilities. So yeah, like I said, an athlete is a genius to me. That's a natural ability, especially when you think about your hand-eye coordination or your mind and body coordination, and to make split-second decisions, and your body can move and be coordinated with it. That takes genius. It was somebody that brought that up, and it opened that paradigm for me, because I never used to think like that. But when you really think about how intricate that stuff is, yeah. But then also, like you said, creative, like with this meaning creative power as well. So yeah, I think Kanye's more in that level. But then he has sexual intellect too. But you know, it is what it is. Is love real, or is it an illusion that has been pushed from generation to generation so that we feel normal? Love is a deep, deep question, man. Let me cut the UGK down a little bit more. But let me sit on that question. Is love real? Love is real, because just the idea of our belief in our energy and us putting forth that energy out there, we made it real. Because anything from our imagination, we can put forth and make real. So is love real? Yes. The problem with love is everybody has their own version and idea of it. Because if you ask people what love is, no one's going to give you the same exact answer or definition. And that's where you start getting these love languages, and then you kind of find percentages of different variations of what love can be. So I think that's what makes it so complex on why people struggle with finding love, because we don't go to class and kind of learn the chemistry behind that type of emotion and feeling. And like, we go to chemistry to learn how to break down other compounds and things like that, but we should have done that with certain elements like love and things like that as well. So I think that's kind of the people problem with love, is just we want to shape people to have the same type of love we have, and if they don't, then that's a problem. And it's like B.O.B. be like, what'd he say? Love is how you feel regardless of how they treat you back. And that'd be kind of unconditional. But a lot of times our love is only shaped around a materialistic or some type of condition, which would be money or a stability and things like that. So love is when I got into I've been diving into love in my own life. So this is a topic that I can kind of expand on, but I'm still kind of lost in too. But love, like when somebody, but I'm looking for love. They're not only looking for that word that we know. They're also looking for stability. They also looking for guidance. They also looking for obviously an intimate mate. So it's like love is more than just a feeling these days. It goes into even materialistic things like what can you give to me and stuff like that. So when people ask for love, that's a broad term. It's a broad term, and you need to decide and ask people and really figure out what type of love are you looking for. So like Sweetie speaking about if he can't buy you a Birkin bag, send him to the streets. Well, for me, I wouldn't date no one like that. But it's somebody out there that matches her energy, and that's the thing. If she finds it, she's gonna find it, and she got the outlets to kind of find men like that. But I don't think she really finding love. If you ask me, she probably love materialistic things. But if that's what makes her happy, that's why I say everybody got their own kind of distorted way of what's love to them. For some people, materialistic things is a part of it. For me, it's not really. But that's why I wouldn't be able to date her. But I can't knock her if that's how she see love. I mean, that's how she is. But I would say that she probably has some problems later on in life when she really wants somebody to actually be there for her, because them Birkin bags ain't gonna be there for her when she starts stressing or when the bags ain't coming in the same in a sense. So yeah, I think she has a flawed idea of love, but at the end of the day, can she find it in this world? Yeah, because this world is it's a materialistic world, and most people base their love off materialism. So it's not like she's not like an outlier. She's the masses when it comes to how she thinks. But most people can't ask for a Birkin bag, but they ask for a ring that's expensive, or a house that's expensive, or a whole wedding ceremony that's expensive, or something. Somebody, you asking for something materialistic, when it's supposed to be something that's really just based off feelings in a sense. But the raw emotions, I guess, should be just based off feelings. But yeah, in this world, we've added more definitions onto what love should be, and that's what kind of messed up the game of love to me. But you can definitely find your love. Just stay off of social media. Stay off of social media, man, because it'll have you looking for looking for love in all the wrong places. Would you ever get married? And by law, no. And what I think marriage is when you have sex in general with someone. That's why we should take sex more serious, because the ring finger is the male penis, and then the ring is the woman's vagina. And that's what real marriage is. So when you start putting marriage into by the law and things like that, now that's tying into a business and things like that. So do I want to be in business with this person? Because it's not just about love when you could lose half your shit. Like, so with marriage, it's like if it wasn't a business thing, if it wasn't if I didn't have to go sign up to the government, I would get married. But like I say, how I even view marriage is sex. So will I really get married in a spiritual excess? Yeah, I am in a sense. So but in the law aspect, probably never. It's just no benefit to me, just how I see it. But uh, yeah, I just don't think you shouldn't sign a contract. I mean, yeah, that's just how I see it. I wouldn't sign a contract that lasts forever in my eyes. But everybody's different, and I mean, if you find that person, you find that person. Because some people, you can go in business with. I just don't see it as a thing for me. But I try not to knock anybody else that's doing it, because there's plenty of people that have successful marriages. You know what I mean? So I'm not that dude that's just gonna be like, since I don't do it, it's dumb that everybody else does it. Like if you find that one, if y'all built a plan together, that's fine. But a lot of people, like I said, they get married with ulterior motives that's usually not aligned with each other, and they start to see it as time progresses. Well, yeah, both those questions are some deep questions. Trying to think of anything else besides with just getting married or dealing with this Birkin bags. Yeah, and for me, it's just really just the state of society. and how it is today. Like it's just thinking about it. Like we're just in a new age where marriage should be something that's just thought about a lot differently for me. Like back in the day, it's a lot different. It's a lot different. But if you can find somebody that's traditional, that's cool. But for the for the most part, most people are not traditional anymore. So it's kind of weird to get into something that's a traditional way of thinking. Cause I'm definitely not I can't say I'm definitely not a traditionalist, but I'm a nomad. So I'm a little bit of everything. So I just don't see complete benefit in that for me. And it's not that I can't stay with somebody forever. Like that's just not the case. It's just add too much. It's more pressure that you add on to something that's supposed to be based on just y'all relationship, in a sense. But I think that's a circumstantial thing. Got about 15 more minutes. If y'all give me some more questions, I'll stay in another 15. Y'all asked some pretty good questions so far.
Nice work for the low. I'm still ballin' like I'm Bo Diddley. Ballin' like I'm Bo Diddley. Caddy in the living. Just park the caddy.
I only doing chop the screw because I think that could beat the system. Like you can't get. They ain't gonna strike your shit if you got it. Who's your favorite musicians at the moment? Rex Life Raj. I'm always gonna shout that boy out. That man's a beast. REXX Life Raj RAJ. That man, when it comes to spiritual, when it comes to just the energy of how I've been feeling, like songs like Working on My Level Up Again. It go too deep. But yeah, check that man out. He's a monster. And he gonna be one of them dudes. But who else I listen to? Man, I've been listening to a little bit of everything right now, honestly. But let me see. I'll pull out my phone for you. See if I got some. Oh, you said favorite too. But yeah, he definitely one of my favorite. Let me see. B.O.B. Well, B.O.B. and Rex Life, them two dudes that I say that most people don't give credit to, but their artistry is hands down. They're some of the best that I know, and they versatile. So yeah, Big Crit. That's a given for me, but I don't know. Everybody don't really just talk about Big Crit like that. Let's see who else. Mac Miller, that last album really just stuck with me, and really all his music stick with me. But yeah, Mac Miller is somebody I can always just resonate and vibe with, especially these past couple years. Everybody else pretty much known. Your Drake's, J. Cole, Lil Wayne. I'm a big Lil Wayne fan because a lot of people like his old shit or say his auto tune too crazy. But at this moment of Wayne, I ain't gonna say he make the best social statements in the world. But when it comes to his spiritual insight and understanding how powerful and how we're a universe and we're a solar system and how he a star, like literally a star that's shining, and we all, bro. He get deep, and then His his metaphors are crazy when you understand he really be talking about a lot of spiritual shit. A lot of spiritual shit. Like literally, when you listen to Wayne, he say he out of this planet. Like he ET, he out of this world. So most of his shit, like, is coming from out of this planet. So when you listening to that man, he really be on some alien shit. So that's why I like fucking with him, because it connect and I resonate with that, because I be feeling out of this world too. Literally, Emerald Thoughts got that ET in it too. On home, goddamn. But yeah, B.O.B. Big Crit, Rex Life Raj, very motivational. But if y'all got any questions on alchemy, I keep saying the dreams. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Don't be scared. I keep it light, and if we want to dive deeper, I could find a way that we could DM or something like that. But yeah, I'm here to break down, like I said, really anything. But I'm really a spiritual. That's my adept shit. But spiritual tying to everything. So I'm really just talking. To my music.
Triple my cups like I had it. She come through late night on the Xanax. Don't tell when you back in that action. Don't tell when you back in that action. I get that mouth on the regular. I get more lip than the cellular. I put that post on the regular. She check them hands on the regular. I'm not so average or regular. I don't do shit if it's regular. I jump out of the whip and regular.
But I just thought about this with is love real and things like that. I don't know how loud this is. But it's just the element, just like these. I know it's kind of blurred. Oh, there we go. Let me see if love in here. Yeah, it's up here with truth, love. I can't say that word. Equanimity, midity. I need to look what that means. Bliss and stuff like that. It's a tool. It's an element, and the element has polarity, just like everything else. A lot of people use it to, I think, its lowest levels. When I say kind of materialistically or conditionally, some of the best versions of love is unconditional love. But when you look into this world, you rarely see unconditional love, especially with council culture and the high expectations we place on one another. We have very conditional love. So I think it's how we use love rather than the actual. I think it's our problem, not actual love in a sense. And another way I could say is, like, I think a lot of people use the word love, but maybe haven't really experienced it like that, or we say we've. It's a harsh topic to say, and I know we felt love, but I say it's more that conditional love. We ain't felt the totality of just being fully cared for. Most of us, I just. In reality, our parents were too busy. They were always at work. They couldn't nurture us like we wanted. It wasn't a community also around us. That's just the state of this society we in. So I know it for a fact that we were nurtured and loved on like we should have been. And then that's going to translate how we moving forward in our other relationships. A lot of us really haven't experienced love, even though we say it. And I'm not going to sit up here and say, get out your relationships because you haven't experienced love, but understand that keep developing that shit. Because honestly, don't settle, because it's so much more that we can experience when it come to that, and it's unknown, so it feels it's raw and it's scary. But man, we can go even further with this love shit. Man, ain't no love on this world, and honestly, not I ain't gonna say for the individual people, but on a holistic scale, it ain't that much love in this world. So that's why I kind of say it's not really love. It's our lack of it, and then how people misuse it. Motherfuckers will say love just to get to a motherfucking bag or just to get to some motherfucking sex. That's lust. Or yeah, really, that's lust, greed, and so many other elements that's not love. But we give love that title, and now love got a bad rep. But niggas ain't really been operating out of love. That's how I kind of feel. So, and it's not most of our fault, because we don't know. And what's alchemy? Churning what Jesus did, turning water into wine, or turning bread into many loaves, or if you look into Midas touch, whatever they touch is gold. But with alchemy, it's like that's the how do you say, the metaphorical analysis on that. But how we translate it is when you have like your painful moment, and then you put that as like a chip on your shoulder or motivation to strive harder. So you now flipping the energy or the emotion to something that's making you benefit or get you gain. Alchemy is like I said, it's turning the element or a principle around to suit you. But let me look up some. I try to get some pictures and stuff. I ain't trying to find no difficult pictures. Well, I'm trying to let me think, explain it better, cause it I don't want to go too deep for that to be the first question in the sense of like what's alchemy. So I know like you just not getting into it. So I just want to kind of give you the surface level of it. But yeah, it's let me think of a scenario. Hmm. But yeah, most of the time it's usually in this world. I only can really use pain. How we have so much pain, and we like, man, I'm never gonna go back to that. And we use that pain and turn it to hunger to being successful. Like that's a lot of times how we even know what we want is just going through a lot of that bullshit. But how we able to flip that energy? And yeah, I'm trying to think of some better scenarios or better examples. Mm, but yeah, I try to talk on Midas touch, but everything like so. For instance, like how you can go to a shitty job, but if you got Midas touch, you make the best out of that job because your energy's in that job, and no matter what you do, you're gonna reap goodness out of that job because that's your energy. But to get to Midas touch take a little bit of time, but I'm just saying we can all do that. Where if you're in a shitty conversation, like you can pull the best out of whatever you need out of it in a sense. But it really anything you evolved in is gold, even though it may not be golden. Like you could turn shit into gold, like how shit can be fertilizer, and like we can usually really use anything to for more, but we don't see it like that in a sense. But trying to think of other ways to explain it because such a deep topic. I don't want to go crazy deep with it. I don't know. I'm gonna just sit on it. If anything come to me, I'm gonna let it come. But that's all that really came out so far. But yeah, it's really just about just the transformation product of like how a caterpillar can become a butterfly. And it's like you'll never see that caterpillar being a butterfly if you didn't know the history or the origin or nature of that thing. But it's just about being able to transform anything because it's mind over matter. Everything's mind over matter. So I try to look at it like science. You take one element and just understand that you can manipulate it to become almost anything you want. I'm trying to think of how, like, what practices alchemy the most in this world. That's just kind of natural. That's a good example. Well, yeah, do some of your own research. That's about I can give you as far as I can think of. But if you look up alchemy, there's many. It's so much to explain. To be honest, I don't even know where to start with that. But yeah, it's how I look at it. I plant seeds all the time, and those seeds that I plant are an amalgamation of a bunch of different energies. And yeah, wow. All right, I see how I kind of explain it. So when I have a seed that I plant, the seed have a little bit of passion. It has hunger. It has the lack of like that, not wanting to have to go through survival anymore. It's like I put a bunch of different energies into this one seed, and then I plant it, and what comes out of these different creations and things like that, and it's yeah, it's a difficult conversation. I have to sit here and think about it some more. But Jesus is the main one that you have probably heard of doing that. As far as, like I said, he had water and he literally can make it into wine. And that's just the idea of you can always make a situation better. Like they talk about the grass being greener on the other side, where you still have the luxury of making the grass greener on the side that you're already on. That's the power that we usually have. But most people don't realize that because of, many different reasons. But appreciate the question, Miss Simpson.
Girl, so I know it's
901, about to wrap it up. Got about 50. I'll leave about 10 more minutes. Anybody got any more questions? And I'm still thinking on that alchemy.
chop stars.
Might have to save it for the next time I go live.
Tell a bad bitch, girl, let's go hang. You know me, let's go chain. Fuck my young niggas, that's so gang. Get so drunk, you get you. Tell a bad bitch, girl, let's go hang. You know me, let's go chain. Fuck my young niggas, that's so gang. Get so tell a bad bitch, girl, let's go hang. You know me, let's go chain. Fuck my young niggas, that's so gang. Get so drunk, you forget your name. Incense burning. Smoking out to my own shit, got black, my white range. I'm taking that light change. I'm busy drinking my old bitches.
Appreciate you. I'm over here. I be in my head, so I don't know how good did I explain it and stuff like that. And it's something that you can keep going on for days. So I hate to touch on the topic and don't do it justice.
My shit been sounding like great taste now. Him flows and screw flows, my shit been sounding like great taste now. Let me go and hit that cup. One time for a nigga hit that road. These days keep going by too fast, so give me anything to make shit go slow. Money in my safe, but I'm living dangerous. They told me shit would change, but I don't really see no change in this. No. Tap my name on you so I know it's real. Tap my fucking name on you so I know it's real. I know it hurts, but I ain't trying to hear it. And I'm not around. I still be there, spirit. You'll still be mine, yeah. You'll still be mine. Tap my fucking.
Why did I stop making videos? It's a multi-layered question. Really just wasn't feeling it no more, honestly. I'm doing the question and answer just because I feel like it's more engaging. It is what it is. But I mean, I'm gonna eventually get back on here and start making more videos. But at the time, like I said, it's a bunch of things. Biggest thing was not getting no money on this, and I spent a lot of time in it. It just you feel devalued, honestly. So that's why I kind of stopped too. It's like I'm putting in effort. And then shit'll be just, So I just said I kind of feel like when people ready for it, that's when I come out with it in a sense. But until then, I just do stuff like this, question and answer, and still do some type of engagement.
Tap my name on you so I know it's real. Tap my fucking name on you so I know it's real. I know it hurts, but I ain't trying to hear it.
But yeah, alchemy, it go into that with magicians and just understanding like how Harry Potter, you can put a spell or a certain amount of energy or a mind, what would I say? A certain amount of thoughts behind something, because thought is magic. Thought is like our imagination is what created this world. Literally, we wouldn't have anything in this world without our imagination, and none of this shit was here before our without our imagination. So when you think of it like that, we're magicians, and when you have that right energy and information, wisdom, and understanding of just how powerful your mind is, you can start to manipulate almost anything in this world. But yeah, gotta build it up to keep it pushing. Then that's why this is another thing. I feel like I could build it a lot better doing this, because I could talk to people and engage more. Because like I said, even then, if I make a video now, like, because y'all maybe gave me what do you call it? Y'all gave me something to talk about. Like, maybe I can make a video on alchemy because somebody asked me about it. But a lot of times I'm making these videos and I can just keep going, and even in those videos that be like 15 or 10 minutes, like, it's so many different things that I can stop on and talking inside of that. So I really don't be knowing what's touching and what's really engaging. But no, I definitely agree with you with the guy to build it up and keep it pushing. This is what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to do here. And I'm gonna do this probably 2 or 3 times out the week, and then I still got my other stuff that I'm doing. And honestly, another thing is too that I'm still doing a lot of searching within myself. Like, it's a lot of shit that I still have to figure out too. So when I look at what I did, what I had already put out as like a chapter, because a lot of that stuff was me kind of re-talking about it and me making a new video on how I can express it better. And now I'm trying to get to another phase or another chapter where it's just a different understanding. And that's also led to me doing this, because a big reason I didn't even want to go live, because you could call it anxiety, you can call it not wanting to deal with people and stuff like that. So this is just another chapter of where I feel like I'm heading and where this channel can go, and also with my information in general. But yeah, it's a lot of things that new questions that popped up, and just more deeper understandings that I still have to understand. And that's another reason for me just taking a break. And that's just something I always do. But this one was just a lot more meaningful, because I start seeing my value even more and more. So I wanted to start doing things differently. But appreciate the advice and love. But yeah, just going back into alchemy, yeah, you start to understand how you can manipulate anything. Whether I hate to bring in people or space, but I'd rather say spaces. But like, if you ever watch Star Wars, they have the Jedi mind trick, and we all have the capability to do that when we understand spaces and understand people a lot more. Like how, what's that one? It's a name for it. Not a people person, but when you really just a star, like you're adaptable in a sense. So the fact that you're so adaptable, you can literally make anything work, no matter what person you're talking to or what space you're talking to, and you can get something up out of it. And that's dealing with anything. Like, just, you have the power to manipulate and get the best out of the situation that you want. If you especially if you want within yourself the best. But a lot of times we still building ourselves up, so we don't be as consistent with being able to manipulate situations, and we get out of focus and stuff like that. But yeah, as a magician, man, you can understand how to manipulate things. It's just like praying over food. Just to the simplest version, like, you could be eating something that's bullshit, and you can make it good for your body because of the vibration you put behind it. Vice versa, if you put bad vibrations behind like water or like rice, those experiments that do, the shit start to turn moldy. So literally, your vibrational thoughts can literally affect the matter that you're consuming or absorbing, or the space that's around you. So when you understand that you're the center beacon of your space and reality, and you may not be comfortable with your space and reality, once you start to manifest and really dive into yourself and cultivate and build yourself up, you realize how your space the space around you and the environments and situations that come across you start to reflect those changes in yourself. And that goes on, like I say, many levels, even to like a small level with your food and stuff like that. Bobby Hemming talk about red soda could cure a headache for him because he put the power behind it, and then they're going to put the placebo effect and how we literally have scientists that studied this for years on how you can just tell somebody something and their mind start to adjust behind what you told them. And then me and D-Friend was talking about this recently. How he said he don't like how when they tell you have cancer, you start to see how your body starts to degrade even faster, and it's because you started believing. And that's a part of alchemy too, and seeing how your mind can literally start to affect the vibration of your body, and not only that, the vibration around you, which was the space around you, and how you can operate in that. So yeah, the placebo effect is a great way of understanding how our mind is stronger than we understand it, way stronger than we understand it. What do you consider a successful life? That's a great question. That's a great question. Me not having to worry about surviving anymore. Like, I say I want this house, I want this farm, I want to have my mangoes, my moringa trees, I want to have my weed growing, I want to have all my shit. But at the end of the day, if that don't guarantee not guarantee my survival, but if I can't be comfortable in my lifestyle, like I don't, it's not really successful to me. Like if my farm is getting in threat of being taken away, or somebody can just come take my shit away, which in this world it's kind of a crazy world because are we talking about physical success or spiritual success? Because it's spiritually, you know, you ain't gonna never just have 100% guarantee. Like if you have any spiritual understanding of this world, like you can never have stability in this world. So that kind of make you always understand that you always in survival mode. So even for me to have that as an idea of what a successful life is kind of crazy. That's why I say it's kind of a complex question to ask me too. But honestly, just being comfortable within myself and happy within myself. If I can do that, no matter my external circumstances, um, I can call it a successful life. I know it's not much, but yeah, that's just how I feel about it. It's many different things that could kind of help me get happiness, but it all determines on how I feel about myself. In the physical in this life, just not having to worry about survival anymore. Like if whether it's at a certain amount of money or a certain amount of having a certain amount of community built around me, something. But I need to have comfort and not having to worry about survival. But in this world, I don't know if that exists. I just don't, because how I believe it, we behind enemy lines. If I'm talking, I believe I'm talking to a black woman. Like I believe we behind enemy lines as black people. So that comfort that I seek, I feel like it's kind of a fantasy. Cause I just don't. I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but how I see it now, this not our world and it's not our society. So and not only that, we're not really liked here, and we barely even tolerate it. So I just a successful life in this society. I don't know. I don't know if I. But besides that, being around my friends, being around my family, and just being able to have as much fun as we can till the lights cut off. Besides that, I don't really need much. Long as like just but we can't even do that. Like you can't just be with your friends when you want to, because we gotta worry about bills and we gotta worry about this and that. Like you only can see your friends maybe 2-3 times out the month. So that should be draining, because like bro, you like being around your friends, you like being around your family. So even being able to just to do that, if I can put my friends in some type of ability where we could be around each other more, where I can just take time and do whatever I want. When I can take a vacation whenever I want, that's when I'll be successful. When I could, yeah. And I'm very close to it in that sense. Like I don't think it takes much to get there. I really don't, cause it's like if you look at like this for men, cause men we just like doing dumb shit. But it's this some white boys, they do trick shit and stuff like that. Like they in their mid-30s and 35 years old. Like that shit look fun. I want to just be able to be a kid in a sense and be able to have fun and explore. I want to be able to be curious. I don't want to be locked down and bogged down always on punishment because I got to pay bills and shit. Like that ain't a happy life to me. I don't even like going on vacation when I got stress at home. Like damn, that ain't a vacation to me. So what's successful to me is when I can just be almost free and childlike, when I can do what I want with really no boundaries. And yeah, that's what makes that would be my idea of a successful life. When there's no bounds. Like obviously the boundaries I place on myself, like I'm gonna always have that, but I just like no monetary bounds and things like that, where I could just be free to travel at my own discretion. Or nigga, it's this one dude, his name Mr. Boss. This nigga can pay his friends to be around him. This nigga made millions on YouTube. Like I want to be like that. Like nigga, you don't have to work. I'll pay you $10,000 and we can just be friends. I'm being funny, but in that same sense, like we can make content, we can do many things. Like, I want to be that dude to kind of fund the funness, cause that's really all I want. That's really all I want. I want to be able to play football with my friends when I want. I want to be able to play basketball when I want. I want to go play kickball. I want to play freeze tag. And I just want to be able to have money to where I can do that and not be looked at as like, oh, this nigga ain't shit in life. But that's what we used to do in high school. We used to play neighborhood freeze tag or neighborhood cops and robbers. It'd be like 20, 30 people on each side, or like 10 cops and like 20 people running. It's niggas in the cars chasing people. It's niggas on bikes chasing people, and we just was having fun. Like that. That's what fun is to me. I don't think it's really. Like, of course, going to like Astroworld or going to like little like mini golfing and shit like that, that's fun too. But the people around you is what make that shit fun. And I'm one of those dudes, like, I know if I make it big, like, I want the people that I really fuck with to be around me. Cause like, it ain't fun if your friends ain't there. Like, it's just not. Like, you just by yourself and then you got new friends and it ain't the, yeah, whatever. So yeah, I'm a simpleton when it comes to stuff like that. But ultimately, for me to get to a life like that, I'm gonna need hundreds of thousands of dollars, honestly. On the how do you say, on the at least by the yearly, and that's what I'm working towards. So where I can just have fun, I can do me. Cause we can't do us, man. We cannot do us. We cannot do us. Like at all. Like when you want to just be like, I want that, I want to buy that. You can't just do that. You want to go there. You just can't do that. We can't do us. Like we have so many urges we got to just pass up just because of like we know like we ain't got the money for it, or we know that we got to pay these bills, or our car more fucked up, so we got to do it. Like we can't do us. And we not doing this. We doing these motherfucking rent. We living for all these other people. Daylight was just talking about that. He was just talking about we really slaves to our car notes, to these rent people, to our jobs, because we only got one source of income. Like, man, we doing them. We ain't doing this. They tell us what to do. Like, and that's not successful to me. No matter how much money you got, if you still bogged down and trapped down by some money and by some bills or some debt, like you ain't free. You ain't free. And that's I guess I could have made that a lot simpler. Freedom. Freedom to do what the fuck I want. But it's been good, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'll probably come back next Thursday, and then maybe one time during the weekend. Just try to, like I say, who told me this? I think Miss Jefferson. She said, just keep pushing, keep going. This is what I'm gonna try to do. Keep connecting with people. Want to answer some more personal questions if anybody got some from just things that they may have questions like lifelong questions and stuff like that that they never had. Got anybody to answer? Shit, if y'all don't know, I look at myself as a therapist as well. I know not to go too deep. Like I said, we could just get some rough surface level questions, and if you wanted to go deeper, we could find different ways to do that. But yeah, man, I appreciate the questions. I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Honestly, it was more than I expected. Thank y'all. Deuces.